What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Fares Muthana, and welcome to another great edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. We are a little later in the day. It's 5:30.
Whose fault is that?
Uh, can you let? I'm taking responsibility because I'm an adult. Thank you. Don't interrupt me. Shut your face. All right. I had a doctor's appointment. My apology. That's on me. That's
Well, you
why
should
we're
have
having.
scheduled it earlier.
It was actually the reschedule. The reschedule was at 2, and I was late to that one. I was late to the doctor's appointment. I would have made it on time if I wasn't late, but that's not the point I'm trying to make here. I was late. I apologize. That's my fault. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful day. Today's a big show. Big show for today. Big news coming out of the NFL again. Collusion case part 2. And this time I'm going to have Caleb with me to break it down. And we're doing our training camp predictions, the positions we really like, what we're seeing from our new additions, what do we need to see, stuff like that. Do we trust our team to do anything of note this year? I know the Dallas Cowboys, they win 11, 12 games a year, and it's a wonderful year throughout the season, but they don't care about that anymore. They don't care about winning 12 games anymore. They want the bowl. They want it. They've seen 12-win seasons. They've seen 11-win seasons. They've seen playoff seasons. They don't care no more. They want the bowl. Caleb does. Famously on the show, I told Caleb, would you rather have my experience as a fan for the past 15 years or your experience? He's told me mine. Why? Because 2 of them involved us winning championships. So that is it. And then we'll talk about more. But I want to talk about the collusion case, Caleb. I'm probably going to clip this out and put it separately. But I want to talk about the collusion case. Let's do the collusion case right now. You know, we know where we're from. You're my right-hand man, blah, 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 blah. This is important. This is important.
I'm on the left, though.
You're my left-hand man. Fine, you're my left-hand man. It's fine. But this is important. This is a big case. Now we know why the NFL players will never ever win a single negotiation ever. Like you guys know on the show, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm pro-union. I'm a union guy. I mess with the unions. But when you have the leadership that the NFLPA has, you will never go anywhere far in life. You know? Nowhere. From the top to the bottom, it has been fractured. Fractured, I tell you. As of this moment, today, Pablo Torre dropped another great episode yesterday where he talks about there was another buried arbitrator case in the union versus the NFL. And it was buried for both purposes. It was J.C. Trader, the head of the Players Association at that moment. He was on a podcast. He was on the Ross Tucker podcast. Shout out to Ross Tucker, former NFL lineman. He basically said out loud that he's heard players fake injuries to get out of situations that they don't want to be in. To get out of, they no longer hold out. They hold in. They show up. They are seen. But when it's time to practice, my hammy. I can't. My hammy hurts. I can't do it. He says, he then says, "Oh, I as a player, the president of the Players, I can't recommend that. We can't recommend that. We don't do that. We cannot recommend that." I have some screenshots of some of the comments of. Is that it? I think is there more? Okay. Okay, here it is right here. This is where, snap. I forgot to tell Adi to put all of them on there. Here it is right here. Here's the grievance. Here's the grievance right here. The NFL Players Association shall cease and desist for violating Article 2 by communicating to its members, directly or indirectly, any suggestion of conduct that would result in a violation of Article 3 collective bargaining agreement. All right. Yep, there it is. Sorry. and shall henceforth use the best efforts to faithfully carry out all of the terms and conditions of the collective bargaining agreement and all NFL contracts. Basically saying you can't fake injuries anymore. We caught you. We caught you red-handed. And funny enough, how you don't have proof of it. They don't have proof. They don't have concrete proof. They have, a comment made. It was a comment. It was kind of circumstantial. If we're going off comments, really, he then even says in his comment, "Oh, as a player, I don't recommend that." He's talking. It's a comment. And then right here, the reason they upheld the arbitrating ruling is it is reasonable to conclude that the remarks of the PA president may be relied upon by others in matters of relevant to contractual obligations by the PA. By comparison, comments by the NFL commissioner or his assignees would be commanded equal credibility. So, because JC Trader said this, Caleb, it's because he said it, not a union rep, not an assistant or a secretary in the PA, because the president said it. They upheld the arbitrator ruling and the NFLPA lost. Funny enough, Caleb, in the same breath, I talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago, owners said colluding comments talking about how, oh, thank you, Michael Bidwell, for making your QB that contract is going to help me with my QB's contract, which is collusion. It's against the law. But the arbiter in that case says there wasn't enough evidence. So apparently the owners saying that stuff is not credible, Caleb. It's not credible. The 32 owners, the guys who run the league, they're not credible. But the president of the NFLPA is credible for his comments. How does that make sense?
Well, is it the same arbiter?
Arbiter.
Well, there you go. That's probably why different people think different things, or different people are in different pockets.
I think that's more the case, Caleb.
Yeah,
I think that's more the case, another part of the problem with the original arbiter is he wanted to keep his job, because the arbiters, Caleb, they can get fired like that by both parties, by any cause, not any reason. Like, they don't like the way your shoe looks, they'll fire you, and you can't do nothing about it. That arbiter knew that the NFLPA wasn't strongly enough fighting to make the collusion case public, because, again, back to the scumbag. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't usually talk like this. Okay, yeah, I do. JC Trader is a scumbag. He's a piece of shit. That man is a piece of shit. The reason the collusion case never made it to air is he called Russell Wilson a wussy. He called him a wuss because Russell Wilson couldn't get the fully guaranteed deal against the Denver Broncos. When you literally see comments made by the owner of the Broncos and the GM, George Patton, say, I really like the deal we made with Russell. This is going to help the rest of the NFL. Why do you care what the NFL does? The rest of the NFL does. You're 32 independent businesses. You're not supposed to care about what the other NFL. It's free market. You can't collude to suppress the market. That's illegal. But JC Trader, being a piece of shit and not knowing how to do his job, insults Russell Wilson for not getting the fully guaranteed deal. Insults him instead of helps him get it. You rather insult your union member than help him get the fully guaranteed deal.
Well, that's kind of the point I was bringing up before when we talked about it, like, real quick, is they were why did they even have to listen? Why did they even the players themselves working with the Players Association, and when they don't work for them, like, why would they not just be selfish and just do what's ever in the best interest, whether that's good for the other players or not? And that's why I don't really go after the guys, or the guys who, during, like, the lockout era, who wanted to, force and to just sign whatever agreement that they wanted. than just be selfish, because the Players Association don't do anything anyways.
Right there. Right there,
So it's
Caleb.
like I don't really blame them for wanting to push for let's just go out there and play, because why not just look out for yourself? And they're saying, oh, we got to look out for everybody and look out for the next guy. That's why you have to push for your best guy. But why?
No, but right there,
Why
Caleb.
can't
Right
you
there,
just
Caleb. No,
take
no,
care
Caleb.
of
Here's the
yourself?
thing. No, here's the thing. I understand where that mindset is, but then this the prop. Then this is where the union reps, the 32 union reps, the people who basically represent. You get rid of the guys who run. You get rid of them. You hold an election and you fire them. You have the power. That's the thing that's pissing me off. They have the power. The 32 union reps. They can say, no, we're voting to get rid of you. You're fired. You're not doing your job. Get out of here. And guess what happened today, Caleb? One of the two members of the scumbaggery, the NFL, there's the NFLPA players president, who's a player. Then there's the executive director, who gets hired and basically keeps that job for like 15, 20 years, depending on how good you are. Gene Upshaw was it for 30 years. Gene was there for a long time. Lloyd Howell, the guy who was indicted, Caleb, in one of the biggest fraud cases in the U.S.'s history, was hired to be the executive director under the guise of no one knew who he was. He was a patsy. He's a puppet for J.C. Trader, because J.C. Trader, he wanted to go from player president to union executive director. So he needed a patsy for the next couple years, because this patsy then gave him a job. He created a job. It was executive strategy coordinator or officer that never existed, because you basically run the union. I'm just your patsy, that's what it is. He resigned today because the players didn't know, Caleb. The players didn't know about the burial of the first collusion document and the second one. They didn't know. How are you supposed to have the right information if your people you are hiring, voting for to do their jobs?
Well, you think they would have vetted him better?
Yeah, no, exactly. Because the thing is, they didn't know who he was until the last week of voting. It was all secret. J.C. Trader made it all secret. He betrayed the players.
Well, that's where I have thought of, well, can the players sue the Players Association?
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They can. And guess what else? They then hired an outside independent person to look into Lloyd Howell, the second part of the collusion case. Lloyd Howell, like we said, he's a criminal. He's a fraudster. He was also accused of spending over $2,500 in charges, including cash withdrawals, and he used 2 VIP rooms at a strip club. He used union money, Caleb, to go to the strip club. Like I said today, he has resigned 2 years ago. Here's a statement from Lloyd Howell. Take it for what you wish, because I honestly don't care about his statement. He should be been gone. 2 years ago, I was accepted the role of the executive director of the NFLPA because I deeply believed in the mission of this union and the power of the collective bargaining action to drive positive change for the players of America's most popular sport. Our members deserve a union that fights relentlessly for their health, safety, financial futures, long-term well-being, and my priority has always been to lead the fight by serving the union with its focus. It is clear that my leadership has become a distraction. Absolutely. You are not a leader. You're a patsy. And this goes into it, Caleb. The NFLPA and the NFL, well, not the NFLPA, J.C. Trader and Lloyd Howell in the NFL basically said, if you bury my document, I'm going to bury your document. And we're at zero. But here's the thing. One document is worse than the other. You have one document of proof of blatant collusion and suppressing of guaranteed contracts and guaranteed money in a market that's supposed to be a free, independent market, 32 independent businesses, which is against the law. Then you have the faking of the injury thing. Here's the thing, Caleb. I think me and you can agree that that's been going on for years. Just no one said it out loud. You're not supposed to say it out loud.
Well, I think they probably do it for different reasons, and
That too. Yeah.
just pay, or they're unhappy with where they are. They could just
Mm-hmm.
be unhappy with their coach or something.
Yeah. And some people don't even fake injuries, Caleb. They hold in and they tell their coaches, I'm not practicing today, but I'm gonna be here for the meetings. I'm gonna be here for all that stuff, but I'm not practicing. And you know why I'm not practicing. Some of them have stopped. They don't even fake injuries. They tell the coach straight up, you know why I'm not practicing. So stop. Don't ask me that stupid question. All right? You know why. I'm gonna be here for the meetings. I'm gonna be here for the installs. I'll be here for the film room, but I ain't putting on no damn pads, and I ain't getting on that field. They know the injury faking is done. Players are just straight up now. I'm coming in, but I'm not playing. I'm not practicing until I get my contract. So one document was worse than the other document, and due to the fact that J.C. Schrader is a backstabbing piece of shit, scum of the earth, he decided to suppress the document that would have helped him in court, because he is a bad leader. At the end of the day, Caleb, it goes to this. It boils down to this. The owners colluded to suppress money. Everyone assumed it, and it was proven. But the biggest thing is the NFLPA is being led by a bunch of pieces of shit. And the players, they need to start realizing something. They didn't tell you this. Lloyd Howell just resigned. J.C. Treader should be the next head to roll. The players should be like, nah, you need to go. You need to go.
Yeah, it's the problem is that the ones that would affect is the big money guys.
The quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The defensive linemen.
Yeah, everybody who gets paid like the ones who are there for like 10-year careers.
Yeah.
The problem is they don't really care because they're getting paid so much money. They don't really give a damn.
But that's the problem. They need to give a damn.
And then the ones that actually do care, they're not there long enough to really change anything, because the NFL careers are only like 3 years.
Yeah. And there's the problem right there, Caleb. You have these big money guys, mainly quarterbacks, defensive linemen. You have these big money guys. They don't care about their fellow teammate. They don't. So I'm sick and tired of people telling me the QBs are the leaders. They're not. They're not. If you are actually a true leader, you will lead your team in the real battle. The real battle. So don't tell me you care about your defensive lineman or your offensive lineman or your random tight end or your random third string receiver that you loved. Don't tell me that, because you don't care about them. Because if it was up to me, all 32 team reps, union reps, would be all 32 starting quarterbacks. You're the leader, right? You're the leader. Lead. But they're not. They're not leaders. And I'm sick and tired of people giving, because it is the most important position. That is true. But half of these quarterbacks are not leaders.
Aren't actually starters are getting paid that much.
What do you mean?
Well, like the Jets, like Justin Fields is like, he's whatever.
Yeah, but I understand that.
Like those type of guys.
Yeah, okay.
So I wouldn't say 30. I wouldn't say like there's 32 of the big money guys.
Okay, the top 5 basically. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Throw in Dak, Jalen Hurts. The tops, those guys. They roll up in negotiations. Well, and then you have your big money defensive lineman, Myles Garrett. For the Jets, it's got to be Garrett Wilson.
Receivers.
Yeah, got to be Sauce Gardner, Justin Jefferson for the Vikings.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's
a lot.
There's a lot of big money guys, but that's the point. They don't.
They got to be the leaders. They got to be the leaders, right? Because here's the thing, man.
But they're not going to. They're just not.
They're not going. Exactly. That's the problem. They're not going to. And you know what? Those people, they sicken me. They sicken me. I have no respect for them. I have no respect for Josh Allen. How are you going to say, how much money do I really need? You get the best contract possible. for the future of the league. The people behind you will then use you to get the best contract for them possible. You don't say, I didn't want to ask more money from Buffalo. How much money do I need? All of it. Ask for all of it. You're the reason Buffalo matters. Literally, you're the reason. No one cares. They got rid of Stephon Diggs. They're still good because of you. You know? They got rid of him. You're starting, your best receiver is Khalil Shakir. He's good because of you. Get as much money as possible. You're the reason. Lamar Jackson, the man they screwed over. Ask for every goddamn penny during the renegotiation. You ask for every goddamn penny. You gonna talk smack about me, not giving me my money, when you ain't giving me Rashard Bateman. You want me to win with Mark Andrews? You give me my money. Give me my money. And you fight that, and you're going to get it. Because here's the thing too, man. The top 10 second-round picks, Caleb, there's another battle going on. Second-round picks want fully guaranteed money now. Jaden Higgins got it from Houston. Carson Swerginger got it from Cleveland. And now a couple of others have gotten it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they're fighting for it. They're fighting for it. And that's the thing. That's my problem with Alfred Collins, defensive tackle who signed with the San Francisco 49ers. He basically got a guaranteed deal, but he didn't get a guaranteed deal. It was a $10.9 million. The contract was, and he got $9 million guaranteed. You ask for the full 10.9. Like, what are we doing here? We're fighting over $500,000. Give me my money. You got to lead, man. So like all these big quarterbacks, you know what, Caleb, you're right. Not all the quarterbacks are big money quarterbacks are true leaders, but I'm talking about the big money quarterbacks. I'm talking about the top 5. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts. I'm talking Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? The good ones, not the big money guys that stink. Dak, Joe, Jalen, Lamar, Patrick, Josh. I don't want to hear out of your goddamn mouths how you're the leader and you lead this team and you're phenomenal and these are my guys. I love them to death. They're my brothers. I'm going to lead them into a battle. I don't want to hear that coming out of any of your motherfucking mouths. Because if I hear it and you're not actually leading them in an actual battle, we know what battle it is. If you're not going to actually do it, shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Because we know what the NFL wants, Caleb. We know what the NFL wants. They want that 18th game.
Yeah.
They want that 18th game, and they want to swing back the revenue split back to their side. Right now, I believe it's 51. Let me double check.
51-49.
Yeah, NFL revenue split between players and owners. All right. So it's 48% to 51%. They get players only get 48%. Like the most they've ever gotten was 48%. That's what they got. That's what they got. The owners got 51.5. They want to make it bigger. They want a 55%. First is the 18th game. Next is the revenue share split. So if you want to be an actual leader, and I'm talking to them, you lead them in the right battle, and you need to get rid of that new ownership, that new leadership. You need to get rid of J.C. Trader. J.C. Trader should not be allowed back in the Union Hall. If I was a player, I'll grab him by his neck and throw him out. I'll get physical. And I'll get rid of Jalen Reeves-Maybin too, who was J.C. Trader's hand-picked replacement. You get rid of everybody that was connected to him. You clean house. You kill it at the root. And you hold new elections. Because the players need to fucking remember this. Jesus motherfucking Christ. You have the power to change it. Just vote them out. Force resignations. Because Caleb, you know what the owners want? You know why they were okay with burying the fake injury thing? Because they want to keep that leadership. Because they know that leadership both of those two dudes share one brain cell. They share one goddamn brain cell. And they know if we had to negotiate against these two dudes, we're going to bury them. We're going to bury them because Lloyd Howell, convicted felon. JC Trader, dumbass. They're going to get that 18th game, and they're going to get the 55% revenue share. They added a 17th game without any hesitation. 1 year, Caleb, 1 year was 16 games. And then, boom, we're adding a 17th game. We're moving on. Like, wait, what? It should not be negotiated for? No, we're adding it. What are they going to do? Nothing. Well, they ain't stopping us. They couldn't stop them. Because guess who the player president was, Caleb, when they added the 17th game?
Was it the same one?
JC Trader with DeMaurice Smith. I keep saying JC Trader. It's really Treader, but it is Trader. It's JC Trader. He's a traitor. All right. I think I'm done. You have any thoughts?
No, I just don't think much is going to change.
You know what? I think you're right.
So
I think you're right.
And all this stuff, it's whatever because it's just. I mean, they just want to do what they do. I mean, and I don't. You may blame for them. I don't blame for them. You can do what you want.
I think that the reason I'm going to be okay with is that the problem is their leadership doesn't care about them.
That's what I'm saying. That's
no,
why
exactly.
I don't care if you're safe. That's why I just said that. That's why I don't care if they're selfish. Like, who cares? Like, they're not doing the right things anyway. So do whatever you want.
That's the problem. If there was proper leadership and they actually did their jobs, then they can win stuff. But that's the problem. But then here's the thing: who put them in lead? The players did. They voted for this. JC Trader tried to
have a
30
greatest understanding of what's going on.
Well, then get understanding. Good understanding. Get understanding. You saw JC.
That's up to them.
Because here's the problem with these players, man. These players saw JC Trader trying to do some shifty shit with Lloyd Howell, right? And they just sit there and said, "No, man, we're not gonna vote on this. We don't know this dude. This is some shifty shit."
Yeah, and like I said, who's voting on it? The guys who were there for 3 years, and then they're out, and then it doesn't affect them. And then
most union reps don't. They're there for a minute.
No, I'm saying the players that are looking who are being represented by this.
Mm-hmm.
They're there for 3 years. They're out of the league, and then you get the new crop of players that also don't know what's going on. So it's just the same cycle over and over.
Yeah. Shout out to the homie Davon. Shout out to Davon. Sicken me. Yeah, they sicken me, D. Sicken me. I hope you love your new hats, D. Love me some football, but it's watered down now with all the games through the week. Thursday night matchups are trash. Monday night games have been shit. Yeah.
Well, I would say the Thursday night's probably been better than the Monday nights. The Monday nights have been really bad.
Well, it's because, you know why? It's because Amazon paid them $1 billion for one game, so they have to give Amazon some good games. Monday Night Football, it's been there for years, so they don't really care. Shout out to the homie Rogue Pod. There go my two favorite guys. Hey, yo, Hendo, man, I hope you like your hats. I hope you like your hats, man. I thought about you when I got them hats. And then Davon, we found Caleb. Yeah, we did. Caleb was right there.
Although I'm actually going to go to a Monday night game, so what am I talking about?
Yeah, you're about to say. Yeah, Cowboys who?
Cowboys Raiders Monday night.
Cowboys Raiders Monday night. All right. Yeah, Cat, man. The LBHU crew has been asking about you, man. Where you been, man?
I don't get a link.
What do you mean a link?
Where do I get a link to hang out?
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good point. Guys, you got to send the brother the link. That's true. It's a good point. But now let's talk about the stuff we're really here about. Training camp starting. Some training camps have started. Rookies have shown up. Some second round rookies haven't shown up. Like we said, they're still waiting on their fully guaranteed deals. But yeah, Caleb, let's talk about, man. Big things happening in Dallas. George Pickens, he's coming. That's the big accusation.
Acquisition, not
Acquisition, not accusation. Oh, trust me, there'll be some accusations with Dallas.
no accusations.
Yeah, there will be.
No accusations.
But the biggest deal though in training camp though, Caleb, is the contracts. It's the contracts. Mainly one contract.
The biggest one. The
biggest one.
The non-quarterback contract.
Yeah. And let's just say that Dallas must really hate Pittsburgh right now, aren't they?
No, I actually think they like him because now the process can speed up.
You have a start point and an end point.
Yeah, it's like okay,
because he's going to ask for more.
At least now you know the number. You get $1 million over that, and just do it.
Yes, the Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt deals are basically the barometers, really. So the barometers are that. But you think they do it?
They should. I mean, it might happen.
Why are they always a year late? Why is that?
Because they're stupid.
They're stupid.
Or it's
Jerry or Steven?
Well, both of them. They're both stupid.
Okay, not Will McClay.
Well, I don't think he has anything to do.
So Will gets the players because someone brought up
he gets the players. He evaluates them, and but Jerry and Steven say whether you can go and get those players.
Yeah. So yeah, because I believe you guys have the highest Pro Bowl hit rate of the past 10 years.
Yeah.
You guys have drafted well. You guys have drafted good. But here's the thing too. How much money you gonna give Deron Bland after the Sauce Gardner contract? Do you ding Deron?
That depends if we're gonna sign George Pickens or not.
Are you gonna sign George Pickens? Does he work? Do you think he fits?
If he works out,
does he fit?
Not?
Does he fit your offense? Does he fit your team? What is your offense gonna be? You don't know your offense.
That's what I'm saying. It's a more of a wait and see.
Yes.
If he turns out well, then probably we'll sign him. And if he doesn't, then we'll send Deron Bland.
Yeah.
I think that's basically it. Then if it's either between him or Bland, basically. Or what I would do, I would trade Trayvon Diggs and get rid of that contract.
So what position are you wary about going into training camp? That I know is a running back.
Yeah, I mean running back's the worst spot we have right now. It's just a lot of question marks, a couple of rejects from other teams, and then a couple rookies. And the only returning guy is Deuce Vaughn, which may not make the team. So that doesn't sound great going into training camp. So it's probably it's hard too because it's the one position you can't really tell that much in training camp because they don't really tackle. So you don't even know, how great he's actually. Those players are actually looking, and even in preseason, maybe not. Maybe you don't really see that too much either because Dufon had a great preseason. His rookie season hasn't done anything since. So it's a really hard position to even tell through training camp and preseason, unless it's a real game that these guys are actually going to be the guy. I don't think we'll know even at the beginning of the season who's going to be the guy. I think that will take maybe even half the season to know who really is the number one running back for this team. So yeah, it's the main position that's the most question marks, but I just don't think we'll be able to tell anything from training camp or even preseason yet. The one that we can tell is the offensive lineman. Obviously, I want to see our first round pick, Tyler Brooker, go out there and win. Tyler. If he's worth the pick, he's got to go out there and dominate Mozzie Smith because we all know Mozzie Smith ain't nothing. So if he's going,
you basically said you want him to Quentin Nelson. You want a Quentin Nelson,
yeah,
because Quentin Nelson went 6th, which is people were like, what? He went 12th, which is still pretty high for a guard. People, guards going in the top 15, it's kind of a rare thing. So you're basically saying this guard was better than all the other skill position players at that moment. We needed this guy. So you're right. If Mozzie Smith shows up and is like New York Giants against New York Giants, Mozzie Smith, where apparently he decided to know what football was, and y'all decided to stop the run that one day, which is like, we stopped the run. Then the next week y'all gave up 150 yards. Still haven't forgiven you for that. But yeah, you're right. You should be, and he should be dominating Mozzie Smith, and he should be holding up against Osa Odigizua. I'm a big fan of Osa, but let's not act like Osa is.
What do you mean? Osa's a good player. He's a damn good player.
Y'all can't stop the run.
He's not a run stop. He's a tackle. He's a 3 technique that rushes the passer.
Okay. In run game, you should be dominating both of them.
Well, he's just not the other part of the game.
Well, we'll see about
he's
that.
The pass rushing part.
Mm-hmm. Anything? What linebackers, Caleb? Linebackers?
Again, that's hard because they don't tackle that much.
Mm-hmm. So you don't know what the hell what a Jack Sanborn is.
Yeah, probably until the preseason games. I mean, obviously, if they make plays in the passing game, like they'll have some knockdowns or interceptions or something. But yeah, it's really hard to tell if they're not, actually tackling and they don't not in full pads or anything like that. And then yeah, we were pretty bad, not healthy in the cornerback position when we have 2 guys hurt right now. So definitely we got to see the Kyrie Elams and Keemon Halls and all those type of cornerbacks, and definitely Kane Carson coming off of his injury from the cornerback position, step up and try to look half decent out there. So those are the things I'm looking for, and of course I just want to see how it looks with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb on either side, on both sides, and how well that looks during training camp. Because it should look great, especially against the secondary that's a little decimated right now. Yeah, they should be going there and lighting it up during practice.
All right, so I looked it up. You're one of the teams that haven't signed your 2nd round pick, Donovan Ezejuku. He's
Ezejuku.
Ezejuku.
What did you just say?
I don't know. Ezejuku.
Where did you see a C? Where did you see your name?
I'm sorry, man. I messed up. I messed up. Ezejuku. Yeah, Donovan Ezejuku. My bad. I'm sorry. What did I say?
Ezejuku.
Okay, yeah, I messed up. My bad. Yeah, Donovan Ezejuku. He was actually people were big fans of him during the draft. Defensive end out of Boston College. My bad, Donovan. I apologize. Ezejuku, my guy. I wanted the Giants to draft him, but then I realized we then drafted Abdul Carter. Like, what's the point? But yes, let's say this. Carson Schwersinger, 100% guaranteed. Jaden Higgins, 100% guaranteed. Nick Aminori, 100% guaranteed. Jonah Ciavana, 100%. Trayvon Henderson, today, 100% guaranteed. Luther Burden III, 100% guaranteed. Tyler Shuck is probably going to get 100% guaranteed. He's going to be basically probably the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So he has the Q. Yeah, he's the one they have, and he's a QB, so he has the QB leverage on them. So that's the top 7 picks.
Well, I would assume it'd be like is there going to be a cutoff for that?
Alfred Collins, the 43rd pick in the 43rd pick.
It's like the top 50 get the guaranteed, and the rest of them don't.
Oh, but 43rd.
That's what
Alfred Collins. Alfred Collins at 43.
Well, yeah, that's true.
His was 10.9 or 10.7.
With exceptions, because like I said earlier, I don't think Judkins is getting the guarantee.
No, he's definitely not. Well, you got to yeah, definitely the arrest is definitely going to mess him up. But his thing too, Quinshon Judkins' contract shouldn't ruin your fully guaranteed deal, because you could just say this: the reason he accepted that bullshit is that he got arrested. I didn't get arrested. I want my money. Give me my money. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Delia. Yeah. Shout out to you. The Denver Broncos, But that's what I'm saying. Like, give me my money. Get the money. So, and the New York Giants actually didn't have a 2nd round pick, so we don't have this problem. Yeah. Which, cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be there at the starting train. I don't know if because the rookies have shown up today, right?
Yeah, most of them have. He's not there.
So he's not there. So yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
when the hell when that all that's gonna get settled.
yeah.
Don't know. I mean, Michael Parsons should be there. Um,
Hmm.
even though he doesn't have his contract, I think
Does he hold in?
yeah. I mean, but I don't. I mean, I think he will actually practice. I think he wants to go out there and practice,
Hmm.
do everything he can because I don't think he's worried about it.
But no offense to Michael Parsons, but there's a bigger story as well as in Dallas. Number 4 on the injury front. He says he's a full go.
He looked like it. I mean, there looked like no problems
Hmm.
when he was in during minicamp. It didn't look like he was straining or was in pain or anything. He just looked like regular Dak. So I expect him to be full go. I don't expect any, you know, limitations on him. I think he's going to
Hmm.
go right there and look like his old self.
Caleb, is this starting to get a problem the past like what 3-4 years? Something always happens.
Um, I mean, he was fully healthy in 2023 played every single game all the way to the playoffs. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't think so.
It's major injuries too, man.
It
Snapping
was,
the ankle,
but
breaking a hand. Was it a hand or a thumb? What was it this year?
it was like a couple years ago. We missed those 4 games where Cooper
Yeah.
had to play for like 4 games.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a hand. I mean, that was a freak. That was freak accident. You can't really.
Yeah. Didn't he hit a helmet?
Yeah, you hit a helmet. I
He
mean,
hit it. Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't contribute that to him being in. Like the 2 major injuries was in 2020 and 2024. That's 4 years apart. I'm
Mhm.
not going to say that it's like always been a problem.
All right. Perfect.
And then, but going to backup quarterback, if that does happen, Joe
Yeah, who
Milton's
you
all we
got?
got. Joe Milton's all we got.
Joe Mills. All you got.
So well, I think we have what's his name, the other third quarterback. I forget his name. Will Greer. I think we signed him back.
He's back. The Greer is back.
I think he's back. But Milton looked good. He looked good in preseason last year. He looked good in the one game he started. He won that game. I mean, he may not look great in practice, but he maybe like Dak. Dak looked like crap in practice. In his early years, he was like the 4th quarterback in the roster for a reason because he wasn't good in practice. But when he got in the game, he looked excellent. So that could be the same with Milton if he just gets his opportunities. If you give him an opportunity, maybe he looks better.
Mhm.
And looks great because he did get the opportunity and he looked pretty good. And he can throw freaking miles long. So as for what we got to rely on if Dak is hurt.
Pretty much. All right, let's move on to the other shades of blue in New York Giants. Key stories, really. It boils down to this. How are they gonna fit all 3 of their pass rushers into a package? Abdul, Kayvon, Brian Burns with Dexter Lawrence. Either one of them is so people are saying they're probably gonna take out Kayvon. Him and Abdul are gonna rotate. But you also want them to be on the same time during. So like
Why?
exactly why? Because on non-pass rush downs, you want to throw in a Darius Alexander or a Roy Robinson Harris to beef up the middle to stop the run. That's probably what you want. But when it's time to pin your ears back in pass rush, you need to create a way for Abdul Carter, Kayvon, Brian Burns, and Dexter to all rush the passer together because you're not gonna double team some. You're not. Who you're gonna double team some? If you're double teaming somebody is gonna be one-on-one. And these are very fast, twitchy defensive linemen. They're a little light in the butt. They're a little light. They're not like the old NASCAR package. Like people have been talking about the NASCAR package, right? The thing I fell in love with the New York Giants. The smallest defensive lineman on the NASCAR package was OCU Manura, and he would be the second biggest on this defensive line. That's how, you know what I mean? He was 255, 258. Justin Tuck was 265. Jason Pierre-Paul was 265. Chris Canty, 300. You know what I mean? Matthias Kiwanuka, 270. They were big men. You know, Kayvon is about 240. Abdul is about 230, 240. Same thing with Brian Burns. He's like 230, 240. Dexter Lawrence is almost 300 pounds. But outside of that, it's just a bunch of just speed pass rushers, in a sense. You know? They're not like TJ Watt's huge.
Well, they have to be because all the quarterbacks are fast now.
Yeah,
the quarterbacks back then weren't as fast.
No, they weren't. But then, that's one of the keys. How do I make sure to get all three of them on the field together? Then on the on the second story on the defensive side is, what's the cornerback thing going to be? Is Tay Banks ever going to improve?
Nope.
Or is he just going to suck forever?
Yep.
You know what I mean? He was drafted specifically for Wink Martindale, man-to-man bump and run. But I didn't even see him that good at man-to-man bump and run. CeeDee Lamb literally didn't run a route, and he beat him. Caleb, he went like this. Touchdown. He didn't run a route. He just ran in curvatures. You do this curve, touchdown. That's how I know you a bad DB. We talk a lot of smack about Sauce Gardner. That don't happen to Sauce Gardner. We talk about how he grabby. So that still didn't. He still won't allow that to happen. So there's that. Who's gonna be cornerback 2? And you know what? I like, Rodney and Hendo told me about Paulson Adebo. He was a good player. He broke his leg. Yeah, exactly. He broke his leg. What am I gonna get? The man broke his leg. We'll see. It's question marks. Our cornerback 1 broke his leg last year. Our cornerback 2 stinks.
He sucks.
Our best corner is our nickel corner. And he's rated the 8th best slot corner in the NFL. Shout out to you, Drew Phillips. That's not good when your slot corner is your best corner. It's not good. 2, the safety tandem of Javon Holland and Tyler Nubin. People will be happy that Javon Holland is here, but people have been saying he's also regressed a lot. So it's kind of on a prove it deal. And to me, I'm not going to say he was good because, I don't really watch Miami football. Miami Dolphins football. He probably did good. You know what I mean? But if I go off my fantasy, he stunk. But I'm not going to go off fantasy. You know what I mean? So we'll see about that. But now, the more important side of the ball. The defense has been good for the past. You know how I know our defense has been good for the past couple of years? It's our offense.
The defense
it's been awful. Good.
The DBs have been awful.
Yeah. But the front 7 has helped the DBs a lot. In primary,
worse? They're worse than awful?
Who?
The DBs?
They're awful.
They're worse than awful because you just said that the front 7 helps them out. So yes. If they help them out, that means they're even worse than awful.
They are. They're not very good. I think we've agreed on that. They're dead last in our defensive power ranking. Caleb, they're not even dead last. There's 3rd, and the DBs are down there. They're bad. You know how I know our defensive line, our front 7 really helped out? Remember the Cincinnati Bengals last year, right? They would score 30 points. They would lose 33 to.
Yeah, you guys really had the advantage because their offensive line wasn't great.
We tore them up.
Yeah.
We could have won that game. We could have, if our offense did anything. It was 10-3, Caleb, entering the 4th quarter. It was 10-3 in the 1st quarter. And then for 2 straight quarters, our defense stopped Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Not a lot of teams last year could say that. Not a lot of teams. Yeah, you beat Cincinnati, which is good, but you beat them 40-33, or you beat them 48-45. Both Baltimore Ravens games were shootouts. even with the shitty offensive line and all that jazz, most of the games you had to beat Cincinnati in a shootout. But when the Giants came around, Cincinnati didn't know what the hell they were doing. If our offense did something, and I tell you this, if Russell Wilson was our quarterback last year, I guarantee you we win that game. We win that game. We win that. We at least get 3 field goals or 4, at least. We couldn't even get past half field. That's how bad the offense is. Big story on the offense. We all know it's the quarterback. How long is it going to take till Jackson Dart starts? Do they start Russell Wilson the entire year?
That's tough.
Because here's the thing, too, about Jackson Dart.
It depends on your record. It really just depends on the record.
I think it does. But here's the thing, too, also, too, like, let's say we're good and Russell Wilson gets hurt. Jackson Dart's still QB3. Jameis Winston's there.
Yeah, again, if you're good, if you have a good record, you have to start Jameis just because experience.
Mm-hmm. But
that's if Jameis is still there. I mean, there's no telling that he would, by that time, maybe he says he wants a trade.
That's true. That's true. But then why even come to New York if you already had... You
didn't know that you were going to draft Jackson Dart. Why draft Jackson Dart when you had Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston already there?
Valid. That's valid. And a trade could be in the future for Jameis Winston. That's true. But that's the thing right there. That's also the big story. Does Jackson Dart see the field at all this year?
If he's the 2.
Maybe. What if we have a good year and we make the playoffs with those 2? I don't think he sees the field at all. Because
you guys aren't making the playoffs. Let's be honest.
Well, I'm just crazy stuff has happened. Okay, let's calm down.
I mean, make the playoffs.
We made the playoffs literally 3 years ago with Daniel Jones. So it's not crazy. All right. You know what's crazy too? You know what's crazy? Being blown out by 40 at home in the playoffs when you allegedly have a top 10 quarterback. That's crazy. Dallas.
Yeah, that's not too crazy. I mean,
that's not too crazy.
That's not too crazy.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. But here's another big story.
I mean, we blew out Tom Brady.
Okay.
In the playoffs. So it's not too crazy.
So a victory over 45-year-old Tom Brady. Is that what you're handling?
You just said. Is
that what we're doing here?
You said it was crazy. You said it wasn't. It's not that crazy because it's happened.
Tampa Bay literally wasn't very good that year.
We still blew them out. They still were in playoffs. We blew out a one top 10 quarterback.
Okay, yeah, all right. You know what? You should put that next to your Super Bowl banner. Beat 45-year-old Tom Brady.
We blew him out.
Put that near your banner. Yeah. Yeah. Watch how Michael Irvin stabs somebody because he sees that. You know what I mean? You know, so there's that. But here's another big story on the offensive side. Does Evan Neal resurrect his career? They haven't fully given up on him. This is the last shot.
I mean, they should.
Guard is his last shot. But here's the thing too about Evan Neal too is people make fun of the Giants like, oh, the Giants, ha ha ha. Literally everyone said he was the number 1 tackle prospect. Literally everyone said that.
Well, they should have known better.
Every team agreed.
So just because everybody, it doesn't mean you have to do it. Does everybody do?
Okay, but no. But here's how it broke it down. No, but here's how it broke it down. Evan Neal, best overall tackle prospect. Ekme, I don't know how to say. The guy from Carolina, he was the mauler, grab and pin you to the ground and destroy you. Charles Cross, that went to Seattle, he was the pass blocker. But Evan Neal was supposed to be the full package. I don't know what happened. What happened?
Giants.
Huh?
He went to the Giants.
But Andrew Thomas stunk for the first 2 years with the Giants, and then he became a top 5 tackle.
Top 5's a stretch, but
no, it's not a stretch. Literally ask Andrew Whitworth and Brandon Thorne and Duke Manyweather. They literally put him as a top 5 tackle. Why are you just lying when you have the information out there?
Because I seen him play.
Hurt. He was hurt and he was sick. One game he has a good game once, and then afterwards he ran away from him Because everyone's like, no, I want to rush on Evan Neal. If Michael Parsons was actually ready to go to battle, he would have stayed on that side and fought Andrew Thomas all night.
We'll
but he
see
didn't.
Well, you'll see twice this year. So.
Well, I will see twice this year. You know what, Andrew? I need you to. You know what? Man, I need him to grab him. I want him to break him. You know what, Caleb? I'm gonna watch that match.
You'll be seeing Russell Wilson on his back.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
I hope not. Get rid of the ball, Russell. But that's the thing. Evan Neal needs to
get rid of the ball. That's the whole thing. They just get rid of the ball.
That's the problem. But here's the two, Caleb. You know what story that no one really talks about? Who's gonna be our wide receiver too?
Nobody, because you don't have one.
Well, we have Darius Slayton.
No, you don't.
We literally signed him.
He's not a receiver too.
But exactly. But back in the day, in like 2006, he's a receiver too. Nowadays, you can't have people like Darius Slayton as your receiver too. Philly has completely broken the mold. Philly got 2 number ones. Minnesota.
You should have 2 number ones basically.
Yeah. Well, no, you know what? The Rams broke it. The Rams had 2 number ones back in the early 2000s. People, like Darius Slayton has a big problem, and it's a problem wide receivers can't have. He can't catch the goddamn ball. He has drop issues. Very bad drop issues. You know the stat, Caleb? The Larry Fitzgerald has more tackles than drops.
No.
That's not Darius Slayton. He for sure got more drops than tackles. For sure does. And here's the thing too, man. I got by that Jalen Hyatt stuff, man. I am done. Yo, you know what, man? If I hear that my wide receiver was in the air raid offense, I ain't drafting him.
Is he your returner at least?
No.
Why don't they just do that?
I don't know. I don't know. They decided to put a Dory Jackson back there, and he ended up getting hurt. And I'm saying,
I mean, all his shiftiness, I mean, that would be perfect for a return guy.
Yeah. This is his last shot, too. Him and Evan Neal, this is their last shots. Either they play good or they're done. But here's the thing, too. How do you draft Jalen Hyatt knowing that his biggest tool is going deep, and you have a quarterback who doesn't throw deep? So I think Russell Wilson's at least gonna, chuck it. Is he gonna be good at chucking it? Maybe not, but he's gonna chuck it. Like when Tyrod Taylor was there, he threw the ball deep. There was a vertical, not threat, but presence there. Daniel Jones, defenders. This is what I'm saying about Dan. This is why you know what? I don't feel bad for Colts fans because of what they did to us last year and last week. They should have beaten us, but they decided to let us win.
He looks better than Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, you know what? I look better than Anthony Richardson, so whatever. You know what I mean? It's good. Of course it's. There's a bunch of people who are missing Joe Buck on Fox, Caleb.
Who's that?
Joe Buck.
I mean, no, who's missing him?
No, like just like random sports fans, because they're mad that the guy they replaced Joe Buck with, baseball, Joe Davis. Oh. They're like, oh my God, Joe Davis sucks. I miss Joe Buck. But of course you're gonna miss the dog shit when Fox gave you horse shit. You know what I mean? So Cleveland, so of course, Indianapolis signed dog shit. So the Colts fans are like, we've been dealing with horse shit for the past 3 years. This dog shit looks good to me. Defenses don't respect Daniel Jones. They're not scared of the deep shot.
What if Daniel Jones has a good year this year?
Okay. Then you know what? Then I'll hate him more. I'll hate him more. Because the Colts aren't that good. They've lost most of their offensive line that was great a couple of years ago. They have Michael Pittman and Josh Downs. That's it. They have Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, they have Jonathan Taylor.
But we had Saquon Barkley. So it's another, you know what I mean? It's another situation where he had Saquon, now he has Jonathan. So and he still looked like shit with Saquon. That don't mean nothing. But man, miss me with that bullshit. God, I've been angry this entire show.
Yeah, yes you were.
JC Trader, man, I'm gonna spit in his face when I see him. I swear to God, I'm gonna spit. I hate that man. I hate him. You know what I mean? Because you know what? I don't care, man. People will be like, oh, Fares, you're being unprofessional. You'll probably never get hired by these major networks. No, they need to hire me. Because I'll say this into their face. Instead of these ESPN, Fox, NBC, CBS, they're just sitting on their hands, doing nothing. Finally, ESPN is doing some reporting on it. Shout out to you, Don Van Natta Jr. He's doing more investigation. You know, shout out to Pablo Torre. Pablo Torre is what's right in sports journalism. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You go after those liars, those betrayers, those criminals, those scumbags. You expose the pieces of shit in this game. Because we already know the NFL owners are pieces of shit. We already know that. They're all pieces of shit. The team you root for is run by a piece of shit. We all know that. So that's an accepted thing. That's an accepted thing. But JC Trader, that's the problem. You are the union of the most popular sport in America. You make $13 billion a year. And you can't negotiate for a 50-50 split in revenue. You can't negotiate fully guaranteed contracts, even though you have a piece of paper that showed collusion, which is against the law. Literally, federal law. You cannot collude to ruin the marketplace. It's federally illegal. Because you are a brainless, spineless, yellow belly piece of shit. The reason the players, like you said, Caleb, are more selfish so they think about themselves is because they see it from their leadership in their union. They see JC Trader is a lying, spineless, gutless piece of shit. Caleb, like you said, Caleb, oh, players are thinking about themselves. Of course they are, because their leadership is doing that. If their leadership showed them, no, I'm thinking about you guys matter, we matter, then the players will be like, okay, they actually care about me, so I'm going to care about them. But the player as the individual should recognize I'm bigger. I should fix my union. And that's my problem. That's my problem. You as a player should recognize my union stinks. I need to fix it. Not say, you know what? I'm going to be selfish here. I'm going to get my money, but I'm also trying to fix it. If I see that man, I swear to God, I don't give a damn that that man is 6'6". I don't care. I don't care. I don't care that he was a former center. I don't care. They act like I didn't play football. I played football. I was a defensive tackle. I was going against people like JC Trader. I'm just as crazy. I spit in his fucking face. I spit in his fucking face. I don't give a fuck.
He's like a foot taller than you.
I don't give a shit.
I don't think you can.
I don't care. I'm spitting in his fucking face.
You're not gonna really be face to face.
You know what I mean, Caleb? Shut up with your semantics. I'll grab a stool. I don't give a shit. Fares, they're football players. I played football too. What the hell I got to do with anything? That mean nothing to me. I know football players who are goddamn cowards. They ain't tough. Miss me with that shit. All right, Caleb, where can people find you?
You can find me at NFL Caleb22 on Instagram and Twitter /X. You can find me on this channel during the season. I'll be on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock doing betting the NFL, giving you my 5 best bets of the week to make you guys money.
All right, guys, my name is Fares Muthana. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to our audio listeners. I apologize for the yelling to our audio listeners.
Sometimes.
Huh?
No.
What?
What?
What did you say?
I said maybe hit the mute button sometimes.
Okay, whatever, man. You know what I mean. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate you. Sorry to the audio listeners. I did yell a lot. I apologize. I get very passionate about this, man. I get very passionate about this. I love this. I'm a union guy, man. I'm so union, they call me Frank Sabatka. You know what I mean? So shout out to our audio listeners on Google on the YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. Just look up Good Friends, Better Rivals. It's on its own individual feed. Good Friends, Better Rivals, our own individual feed. Once again, I'd like to thank Danny for the revamp of our show. It's more Giants, Cowboys. The blue is wonderful. We loved our orange, our aesthetic, but this is us. This is us right here, man. This is us. But we appreciate you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for the people in chat. Shout out to Hendo. Shout out to Davon. Shout out to Delia. Davon, tell your wife I'm sorry. I know you guys are God-fearing people, and you guys really don't like the cussing. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
That's why you don't get hired by the networks.
Because I'll tell them the truth. That's why. I'll tell them the truth. I don't care. I'll tell the truth. I don't care. But on that note, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.